Okay, since I took a look on this video, I got my legs cut. They were a trick. I wasn't sure how I was going to put the cross piece in, but what I ended up doing was using a Forstner bit, and I drilled this one first. Then I took my sander and I sanded this log to fit in this hole, and then I brought it over and it stuck past this one a little ways, and I cut the length that I needed, or about, and then I brought this log back over with this piece in it until it touched the side of this log, and then I traced around it, and then I drilled my hole. That way nothing was bent or pulled out of the way. Said I've never done this. This is how I figured out how to do it, and I think it came out pretty good. They went in pretty snug. They're not glued or anything yet. I still got to figure out how I want to put my boards across the bottom, or what I'm going to do yet. So I'm kind of thinking on that, but so far I think it's looking pretty good. And it's the bottom of the table, obviously, but yeah, so far so good. If I had the right tools, it'd be a whole lot easier, but we're making do with a set of Forstner bits and a drill press and a sander. So I think it's going to go something like that. I ain't sure how I'm going to hook these. Top, bottom, split them. I don't think I'm going to try drilling into these small logs. I think that's going to be a nuisance, honestly. But gotta figure something out. I'm gonna figure it out here. I'll think on it for a little bit. So I don't like it laying there like that, obviously. Okay, I got this thing sort of put together. It's just sitting there. I haven't polyurethaned. I haven't glued anything up or attached anything yet, other than the cross pieces. I just got them temporarily tacked. But that's what it's gonna look like. I think it come out pretty good for a day's work. Other than peeling the logs, that was kind of a nuisance, but not too shabby for the first one. I think it's going to look nice in the house. So we got clear coat to put on the bar top, or the coffee table top, and polyurethane the bottom after I get it all glued up, and that's it. So I wasn't sure how I was going to attach the top, so what I've done is made one for the other side. I had to glue a piece on, it's drying, but I made these. I routed the edge over, countersunk 3 holes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them on here with some glue, set the top on it, and then let the glue dry, and then I'm going to put a couple screws down into this, and that should hold my legs, the base, nice and sturdy. And then when I put the top on, I can just put 3 screws up on both sides, and that's how I'm going to attach the top. So I'm going to glue these on, and then I'll sand these down before I do anything else, and then everything's about ready to polyurethane the base, and I'm going to clear coat the top. As I said before, I got stuff sitting over here, so I'm going to do that today, and I'll video that. So I put a skim coat on this, being raw wood, really thin. What I'm doing now is going around with the torch. You got to be really careful. You got to stay about 6 inches away or so, and what I'm trying to do is get all the bubbles out. There's going to be a bunch of them on this because it's new wood, and it will help flow the stuff a little bit, but really got to be careful, because it'll end up like pooling and it'll look like a bullseye looking thing, and you certainly don't want that. But this is, like I said, it's just the first coat, super thin, just to get the grain sealed up. I did put a coat of polyurethane on the base. I'll go in and show that to you here in a second. Just got to make sure you only got a little bit of time to work with this. You've never done it before, it's pretty forgiving, but you got to be careful of the bubbles. And don't hold the torch in one spot too long. Just kind of wave it around on this thing all over, because there's bubbles, you just can't see them. And this does a really good job of getting them out. But so after a few minutes, you're done. You can't work with it anymore, and you got to live with what you have. So now is the time. I don't know if you can see the bubbles in here or not. Careful not burn this. But popping bubbles. And I'll wait about 4 or 5 hours, and then I'll put another coat on.